Okay, are we on? Hey, everybody. Oh, I'm crossing my fingers that this works this week. I don't know how. I might need to get a new camera. Let's make a little plastic. The thing is, it's already beeping at me. It's blinking. I think I might need a new phone. But I'm going to try to get in as much as possible. Let's leave a little plastic. Zazoo Plazz report. March 12th, 2023. No geese this week. We got a bunch of guys playing basketball over here. I'm in the woods behind the school here. Long way from where I had been. I got a little I don't know, shrub over here. We got some pine trees. I got my thing rigged up on this tree over here. So we'll cross our fingers. All right. I'm going to try to do as much as possible. It's pretty dark out here. So you never know what kind of animals are going to sneak up on you. So, we have the natural habitat of the basketball court for the young male, the young male species of human, such as I find myself surrounded by at home, because my husband didn't put on the calendar that it was college break week. So he texted me, Friday morning, March 12th, 2023, Zazoo Plazz report. And I am, of course, your host, Zazoo Plazz. This ain't the Oscars. It's Oscar Sunday. Instead of watching the Oscars, I'm here putting on a performance for you. Whether it's Oscar worthy or not, I'll let you decide. But here goes. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, so let me just catch you up here. So it's college break at UConn. My husband said, oh, by the way, the kid needs a ride home from college with all his stuff, So this is when I had my Friday all mapped out. I said, I'm going to have a nice Friday. So I end up taking the minivan, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, driving up there. Okay, I don't mind. I can do this. It's just 20 minutes from our house, 25 minutes from our house up to the campus, University of Connecticut. I'm 9 minutes away, right? I'm sitting at a stoplight, and I'm looking at this nice little farm with some goats, some nice white goats, and some chickens running around. And all of a sudden, I go to, the light turns green. I'm going to put my foot on the pedal. All of a sudden, nothing. I put it in park. I'm like, oh man, maybe it just stalled. I got a line behind me of about 20 cars, other parents going to pick up their children. So I'm like, as usual, I'm totally calm. I'm like, so I'm turning the key, turning it on. Every possible light. Now, I have to set the background here. We bought the minivan, my workhorse, my Rocinante, Don Quixote fame, 2007 in March, right before we took the kids to Disney World. And now, so it's a 16-year-old car, and it's got all kinds of college stickers on it. It's got, the place in the back where the kid threw up on the way to the wedding. It's been through scout camp. It's been through all of my commuting to all of my little mom jobs. It's got, I don't even know how many miles it's got. But I'm sitting there, nothing. So I'm waving the cars, come on, you can go past me. All these people are passing. I went through 2 entire stoplights before this nice lady, and I'm going to give a shout out to her. I don't know her name. Nice lady in a pink sweatshirt, blonde hair, fellow, looks like a mom. She's like, hey, do you need some help? Not, and to their credit, these people weren't beeping at me. They were confused, as I would be, when my minivan was just stuck I put my flashers on, Before I know it, I got this lady. She's like, throw it in neutral. We're going to give it a push. Shout out to my fellow moms, right? She's the first one who shows up. She's like, maybe some big burly guy will come over. No, we didn't get any big burly guys, but we did get a guy who looked like a dad who, he joined in, and a couple of looked like college kids. They're pushing my car. I got it in neutral. We're trying to get it up this hill over to this little side of the road where the goats are sitting there looking at me. They're watching the whole thing. The goats. And we got chickens, coming over to check it out. We got the whole farm. And then all these people are going by. I'm like, oh, crap. So, I was calm the whole time. I said, okay, God, if this is it, just, this is good. Elizabeth, got Fred Sanford, I'm coming. I said, that's how my car felt. I'm coming, this is it. Poor car. So I called my husband. Oh, all right, turns out we got rid of the AAA because we've got all these boys on, driving around. So I said, okay, finally, I called I texted my son. I'm like, no, I called him saying, okay, Mom's stranded, and I don't know how I'm going to come pick you up. So, long story short, see, this is quite the story. I always have a story. So I met all these nice people, and they're like, oh, are you okay? So, fortunately, I had been charging my phone, so my phone was, ready to go. So, come to find out, there was a garage not even half a mile. I had just passed it. I could see it from where my stranded minivan was. So the flatbed comes up, and I got pictures. Put my car on there. I got a ride down, 2 minutes down the road. So I was waiting there, and then my son's friend came in his big black SUV because he was home from college. And, so we got 3 Gen Zers picking me up. They kicked me out at 6 o'clock. They kicked me out of the garage. I did see a couple of UConn women's basketball players, which was awesome. So, I soaked it in. I said, this is material. So, and the guy driving the truck was awesome. The guy who put my car up there, he looked like Phil Collins. He was, kind of looked like him. He was bald and, same kind of airy, personality. So I said, oh, this is great. So my husband's like, whatever. I let him know. I took care of it. I left my car, my little minivan on the lot for the weekend, and they're gonna see. The guy's like, well, it's not just the battery. It could be something else. Then my son just happens to tell me when we get home, right? We get a ride home with the Gen Zers and me. One of them, his friend or girlfriend, she's like knitting a hat in the front seat. Totally blew me away. These kids, they're beyond. I mean, they have Gen X parents, of course, which is, these are great kids. I tried to give them some money, no, don't worry about it. We're all set. If these kids are our future, I just want to shout out, they're awesome. They put me to shame. I mean, I can't crochet a hat. These kids are amazing. So anyway, the goats. Oh, and then the goats. They went back. They disappeared after everything, all the drama was over. They went back in the barn. There's no chickens, no nothing. Maybe those are my spirit guides. I don't know. But yeah. So then I get home and the kid says to me, oh yeah, Mom, I think when I drove it last weekend, I saw the check engine light go on. Really? You think you might have said something? Maybe. Oh. Okay, so that's that. And then that's not even the end of the story. So this kid, he's home for the week. I have no car, right? He goes with his dad. He goes to get the other car, which, my husband's up at my mother-in-law's house, managing things up there. We got her a new caregiver for her, and she's reading Zazoo Plazz now. I'm very thankful for all the kindness and how well she's taking care of Mom P. So we got. It's almost like, okay, any Gen Xers, people in the middle. We're in the middle here. This is my whole thing here. Shout out to all the people who are juggling, the college kids with the elderly parents and trying to do your creative stuff, right? This is a time, right? So like I said, here I'm thinking, okay, so I don't have a car. My car is sitting up at UConn. It has an uncertain future, but maybe if it bites the dust, maybe I'll get a brand new car or a new used car, whatever. So this is the thing. You know how they say manifesting, right? So for the longest time, I've been saying blue car. Every time I see a blue car, I say blue car, because all of my cars have been some shade of blue, right? My minivan's blue. My first car was a blue Celica, like blue car. So, I got down this morning. My son bought himself a blue car. He got a great deal on a '96 Miata. I'm like, okay, so he got the blue car. So I guess I have to specify now to the universe, blue car for me, blue car for me, blue car for me. You have to be very specific with the universe, because if you're not, then people near you can get what you want. Just thought I'd throw that out there. This is comedy, but this is my real life. I mean, this is me. There's no plastic, plastic parts on my face. This is me. So, yeah, so the song. All right, so I got, the Oscars. All right. So, yes, this is a tribute to all you women out there who are, especially women, because, you put yourself last long enough, and all of a sudden, the well runs dry. So look at what we've got in the planets this week. We got the Sun, Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune in Pisces, and we got the Moon in Scorpio. Moon in Scorpio. It's sitting on my Neptune. So, of course, all things, like the Oscars, all things with the, screens, right? All movies, TV shows, songs, and, any, things to do with art. Places and things that numb you out, right? And water is emotions. So there's a lot of that going on right now. We're up to here with water. We also have some earth and some air going on, Mars and Gemini. We've got some fire, with the Jupiter, I think, Venus and Aries. So we got a good balance, a little bit of earth. Pluto's going out of Capricorn, and we got the North Node in Taurus, Uranus and Taurus, whatever. That might not be 100% right, but you know what I mean. You get the feeling, we got balance, but there's a lot of water. And here we have, here's the readings for the week. Moses is with all these people in the desert, right? The Israelites. And they're complaining, and it's hot, and we're thirsty, we're hungry. What the heck did you bring us? Where's God? Where do it's kind of like today. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's like, where's God in the world? Where's God? This is going wrong, and that's going wrong, and, we gotta, tell people to shut up and calm them down, and they're not going to say that. You can't say this, and you can't say that. Really? Okay? This is like serious lockdown, right? It's like, we can't have a red carpet. We gotta have a beige carpet. There's something. Do you spend your whole life working hard, making movies so you can walk down the red carpet and they make it beige, ecru, champagne, right? I mean, that's crazy. Anyway, that's, you want to really know, now here's what I really think. Okay, it's the damn carpet, but no, it's the fact that, red is passion. Red can be good things, you know? Red is on, spaghetti sauce on pizza. You can't, you cannot take a whole element. You can't take a whole element out. You've got air, water, fire, earth. You take out the fire, you've got a pretty boring palette to work with. I'm just saying. People who would, like to take from the world anything that is dirty, unpleasant, you know, nah, nah, nah. You need that. You need it to keep things, in balance, right? You need water, you need earth, you need air, and you need fire. Fire is passion, fire is life, fire is the Holy Spirit, it's creation, right? You give, people ecru and you're gonna get ecru. You're not gonna get, Top Gun Maverick. Maverick is fire, right? Fire, oh my God. I haven't really seen many of the other movies. One of the only movies I saw last year was Maverick, so, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm sure the other ones are good too, and I'm looking forward to watching them. I love movies. But here we are with our screens, and then here we are. Moses, like, okay, what am I gonna do? So he, strikes the rock, and here comes the water, right? So the rock of the Israelites, and God. So the theme seems to be water. Jesus is sitting at the well with the woman, who's the Samaritan. They're not supposed to talk to each other. They're not, and he talks to her. She's a woman, he's a man. She's they're not supposed to get along. But Jesus says, he looks past. You've got to look past all of this surface stuff. It'll make you crazy, right? He said, this is just water. You're going to be thirsty again, right? There's certain kinds of foods you eat, you drink, you're hungry in an hour. He said, no, you've got to spend your, spring of water is going to well up within each one of us. Each one of us is a source of life, right? Of life-giving water, anything, It's not looking outside yourself, right? To this, oh, I got to go to this well, and oh, what if the well dries up? What am I going to do? I don't have a scoop. No, that's a lack of faith. Lack of faith and lack of hope. And he's like, look, just all the prophets, right? They're the ones, they sowed the seeds. They were the ones who said, this is coming, And then generations from now, even when we're gone, you're going to reap the benefits of what we're doing right now. The things that are happening, we're going to be the ones to, our ancestors did what they did, and we're reaping the benefits of their work, right? So it's like, an actor makes a great movie, right? And we're still, or like Phil Collins, Song of the Week, Turn It On, 1980, March 24th, 1980. Turn It On Again. So all these great songs, that was 43 years ago. And yet I can listen to the song and I still find it relevant, right? So, and such will our creations be appreciated by generations to come. What are you doing with your life that is going to be, someone else can reap in the future? And you can reap in your soul's future. In other words, think about the things that are eternal and spend your time on those, and you won't be thirsty again. You know? You ever feel like, I'm walking out here. It's like, okay, it's mid-March, and it's 9 o'clock. That means my neighbor's going to be going out for a smoke. And, sure enough, there goes the garage door. I said, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he's going to be up. He's hitting his golf balls in my backyard. I'm going to get him. It must be spring. Goes out there with his boots and his golf clubs, hits golf balls in my backyard. I can't go sit in my backyard. I'm going to get, I'm going to hit with a frickin' golf ball. Anyway, love your neighbors. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So the song of the week, Turn It On Again. I'm pretty backed up because last week I got cut off. So anyway, yeah. Phil Collins. All right. So that's the song. Turn it on again. Da, da, da. It's got a weird rhythm, right? Da, 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 da. It's like a 13/8 beat. And it was on the Duke album. So I guess Peter Gabriel said, yeah, he can do drums. I think he got stuck on that. He got stuck on it. And you see Phil Collins, he sits down, right? Picks up the drumstick. It's like breathing for him, right? He brings this, he's an Aquarius. He brings this airiness. He's like, anybody, if you've taken music lessons, you know the frustration. I had this teacher who was, you've got to stick to the rhythm. You've got to keep to the time. Or else one person's going to be, I can show you, and you've got to be together, right? That's the thing about being in a musical and, band or whatever, even any kind of work. You've got people in your life, you've got to create, you don't necessarily have to be in the same room, but it helps, right? Because we need that. We need each other. We need to collaborate. We need, and if you have people in your life that just kind of don't get you, and you just kind of, you're coming and going, and you're, like the Pisces, like the fish, right? You don't see the world the same way. It's going to be very hard to create, right? It's being like off time with people. But when you get with a group of people that you really sort of fit with, you can read each other's minds. I like the work that some of these, Gen X people are doing now. They're making these little, wheels and stuff. And it's good. It's like, oh man, yeah, I get that. It gets you, it's that feeling of like click. So anyway, the song I think is very appropriate. He's talking about, so Phil Collins made this right after he was going through a divorce with his wife, and he was lonely, and I guess he was working a lot with his band, but it's about this guy who's, the people in his life are on screens. They're on this was 1980. He watches TV, and he listens to the radio, and he relates to the people, the characters that he sees, right? How much more true is this than it was in 1980? I mean, then it was just TV shows, but like, what, 1980, look where, hasn't that been the case for us Gen Xers who have grown up, raised by Mr. Rogers, Oscar the Grouch. I'm just thinking about Oscars this week. Oscar the Grouch, Oscar and the Odd Couple, the two, with Tony Randall and their two bachelors living in the house. Anyway, but this is what women do, though. I have to send someone commented, thank you for being, aware of Women's, International Women's Day or whatever. I mean, how can I not be aware? I am a woman. And I, I tend to think most of the time in human terms, but there's that moon in Scorpio today, right? The moon in Scorpio, the balance, um, and wanting to really, connect with people. That's what Scorpio's about. It's that deep connection. It's like the well, right? The well, the woman at the well. She's had all these, I don't know, whatever, 5 husbands or whatever. She said Jesus told her everything that she had ever done, right? So that's a Scorpio vibe, right? It's like, this guy read my mind. People can, read your mind. But there was no, you know, technology, right? Jesus was, you know, he listened and he observed, and he understood. The more you listen and you quiet yourself, you quiet these other voices, these other, you know, the distractions, right? Because we need to know the difference between people in our lives, the real people, and the pretend, the Neptunian, the tube, screens. So we have to strike a nice balance. Not that, and of course today we have social media. We have people, people have told me through my Zazoo Plazz, this is kind of what I'm doing. I'm creating, I'm telling my stories so that you can see yourself in me, so that you can, I can be in your life sort of, through my weekly reports and my postings, and you can see how much in common we all have, the overlaps, the synchronicities. I share with you my struggles and how I do it, how I fit, I find this creative time to be enormously nurturing and fulfilling for myself. And, I'm surrounded by males, except for the dog, and, she only really likes me when I have bacon. So she's finicky. And yet animals are little souls. Animals have much to teach us. They're uncluttered, right? They notice things because they're tuned into their senses. They don't have the monkey mind going, bing, 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 bong, bong, bong. All right? So anyway, so we need the Oscar the Grouch in the trash can, as well as the Big Bird, right? It was the same guy who did both voices, right? Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. We need the Grouch. We need the heretic, and and we need the martyr. We need both. Some of us are just meant to be more like martyrs, some people, and others of us have to be heretics. We have to speak up because, that's full bloom. That's turning it on for us. Our eternal spring comes out in terms of, what lights us up. Our eternal spring of water is people like me communicating, sharing experiences. That's the water. That's the water that, it quenches the thirst. So anyway, I see, I probably said everything I have to say. But listen to the song. And, yeah, the people in my life, drink lots of water. Get some exercise. Happy St. Patty's Day. I'm going to make my corned beef and cabbage this week for my kid. And maybe some pistachio pudding. Because I like that. It's something special. But anyway, so I'm going to go back. Maybe try to catch part of the Oscars. Until next week, Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you, and may your car live long and not strand you on the side of the road with a bunch of goats. Have a great week. Talk to you next Sunday. Bye-bye.